Thank you for everyone who has their camera on. Dave and I were just talking about it after last week, and I was saying obviously teaching over Zoom is new and different for me as is, but part of what I really like about yoga teaching is being very hands-on. Obviously I can't do that, but at least having the cameras on, I can kind of see where you guys are at and whether we need to pick up the pace, slow down the pace, and kind of what general corrections I can at least voice over to you guys. Today we're going to mostly do the routine similar to the first day. And for you guys, I don't know if Dave had you listen to this podcast, but I listened to a really cool podcast by Brene Brown, who, if you don't know who she is, should look her up. But she was talking with Alicia Keys about Alicia's new book, and something that they talked a lot about was how you're showing up. And so I've just been thinking about that a lot this week, and I encourage you to have that be your intention for at least this next hour. When we're here together on your mat, just start paying attention to how you showed up this morning when you walked downstairs and said hi to your family, how you show up when you are on your yoga mat, when you're coming to practice. The other day I was running like 5 minutes late for practice and I was really stressed, and it's like, oh my God, I have to get there. And I realized the more stressed I am in my car, it's not going to make the light turn green. And I started taking some deep breaths and like, okay, I'm going to get to practice. I'm going to show up. It's going to be okay. Like everything is going to be the same, but how am I going to show up? Am I going to show up frazzled and frantic and kind of like stressed and scrambling the first 20 minutes? Or am I going to show up, apologize, own it, take a breath and move on? So that was just kind of my example from this last week, but just kind of start noticing how you show up to different situations. And yeah, that's all I got for you this morning. But yeah, go ahead and listen to that podcast if you have a chance. I know you guys are super busy with school and meetings and everything, but I think it's super impactful. Having said that, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start off today in child's pose. So towards the back of whatever space you have, whether it's a yoga mat or your carpet, whatever it is. Just go ahead and start off with your eyes closed. Starting to take note of your breath this morning. Set your intention to show up and be present and mindful for this next 45 minutes. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. And start to sink a little deeper into your hips. Trying to get your hips to touch your ankles. Reach your arms out a little bit farther if you can and really drop down through your shoulders. On your next inhale, slowly start to walk your hands over to the left side. And on your exhale, come back to center. You inhale and exhale, start to walk your hands over to the right. Make sure you're still sitting back on your heels as much as you can. Don't let your hips come up. Good, and come back to center. Start to engage your arms by coming up into cupcake fingers. So just lightly push all 10 fingers into the ground, making little tents with your hands. Start to engage your arms, feel it all the way down your back through your lats. On your next inhale, we come up into tabletop position. So elbows over hands, shoulders over elbows, hips over your knees. Your feet can be flat on the ground, the tops of your feet flat on the ground. Good, and start to work through some cat-cows. On your inhales, drop your belly, gaze up to the ceiling. On your exhale, really arch and round your back, pressing through your hands, Feeling a nice opening through the backs of your shoulder blades on that. And just start working through that a little bit on your own pace. Whatever feels good in your body this morning. You could add some little movements to your hips if you want. They move side to side, little circles with your upper body. Just start bringing some motion into your back after laying down for whatever, 8, 10, 11, how many hours you guys sleep. Good, and find center again, so find stillness. Good, let's bring left hand high, right leg back. And start to warm up the core a little bit. Just hold that for a second. Make sure you're pressing through that right hand. Lift your shoulder blade and keep your hips about even. Again, imagining that you're getting pulled in opposite directions, sending a lot of energy both through your ankle and through your fingertips. Good. Exhale, come into a crunch. Only moving that side body, everything else stays. Good. Exhale, release, stretch long. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach long. One more time, exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach long. This time we're gonna go towards the side, so I'll move it to the front so you guys can see a little bit better. But just bring your left hand out to the side of your body, and your right foot is gonna counteract and do the same. So you're nice and balanced. Good. So if you're in the front, I don't know if you can see it, but it kind of looks like that. See if you can get your leg out more. There's just like a 90 degree as much as you can. Let's work through that 3 times. So use your breath to exhale to come to that position. Inhale to come back straight. Good. Exhale, come out to 90 degrees. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, come out to that 90 degrees with your leg and your arm. Come back to center. And drop. Hand in your knee. Nice. Okay, we'll move through the same thing on the other side. Go ahead and extend your right hand long, left leg long. Really reach into opposite directions. Get on your next exhale. Go ahead and bring it to a crunch, knee to elbow. Inhale long. Exhale, knee to elbow. Keep that pressure in the left hand. Exhale long, or exhale, sorry, crunch. Inhale long. And this time we're gonna move into our 90 degree, I guess it's core work. So bring your arm and your leg at the same time as much as you can. It's really counteracting each other with your balance. And back to center. Exhale, come out to 90. Your arm and your leg. Inhale, back to center. One more time. Keep that pressure through the left hand. Now to 90. Good, and back to center. Hold it for just one more second. And go ahead and drop back down to the mat. Good. From here, we're gonna go into the bear hold, so go ahead and tuck your toes on the mat. And just slightly lift your knees up about 2 inches off the ground. When you're ready, go ahead and lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Nice. If you need to, you can walk your feet in a little bit farther and bend your knees just slightly. The most important thing in this position is to really get the upside down V like she has. And then go ahead and just pedal out your feet. So I'm just gonna drop one knee down, stretch out one calf muscle, switch, just at your own pace. And take a second to slow down your breathing. Good. On the next inhale, go ahead and look at the space between your hands and slowly start to inchworm your feet to meet the space between your hands. Nice. Just let yourself hang heavy here. Grab opposite elbows in front of you and start to shake out your head. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. And shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Your next inhale, go ahead and release your hands down to the mat. Inhale, we come to halfway lift, palms against your shins. Really use the pressure in your hands to lean over the cliff. So all your pressure or all your weight is coming into your toes. You could, so much so that you could slide a piece of paper underneath your heels. Keep that back as flat as you can. And hold for just a second. This should feel pretty good in your hamstrings. And exhale, let it go, forward fold. Inhale, we come all the way to standing, slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Your head is the last thing to come up. Good. Hands come up and overhead into mountain pose. Exhale, cactus your arms for goal pose. You get a little back bend. Really press your hips forward to protect your back and engage your core so you're not just pushing your hips like that, but keep your back as straight as you can and just slowly start to arch to the top of your back. Inhale, back to mountain. Exhale, T-spine twist. So drop your right arm to the back of the room, left arm to the front. And gaze at your back fingertips. Again, imagine that there's one straight line from the back of your fingertips, your back hand to the front of your front hand, keeping your hips squared to the front of the room, so try to avoid twisting with your hips. Keep that all squared and make the rotation come strictly from your T-spine, upper spine rotation. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left arm drops back, right arm forward. Keeping your hips square to the front of the room. Get some energy through those fingertips. So again, how are you showing up in this pose? Are you just going through it with limp limbs, or are you going to put some power into it and really try and extend and be active through your fingers and your wrists, through your elbows and shoulders? Inhale, back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and release. Plant your hands, jump or step back into a high plank. Good. Good. From here, we slowly start to lower down. Option, since it's the first one, if you don't feel like your shoulders are warmed up enough yet, drop your knees to the mat. If not, slowly lower your whole plank down, keeping your elbows nice and close. Getting so close that you can kiss the mat. Exhale, upward facing dog, push through, shine your chest forward, come onto the tops of your toes. Good. Next exhale, come back into downward facing dog, so untuck your toes, push your hips up and back. Let's work through that one more time. Inhale, gaze to the space between your hands. Exhale, jump or step your feet to meet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up to stand. Bring your hands up overhead to touch. Exhale, baby back bend with cactus arms. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, T-spine rotation. Drop your right arm back, left arm comes forward. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, left hand comes back, right arm forward. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold, let it all go. Drop to your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, jump or step your feet to the back of the mat. Work through our high to low plank. Again, options to drop your knees. Other option is to bring your whole plank all in one as low as you can. Upward facing dog. Go ahead, untuck your toes and release. Nice. And exhale, find downward facing dog again. From here, we exhale our right leg high. Right knee, right elbow. Exhale, right leg high. Right knee, left elbow. Exhale, right leg high. Exhale, swing it through. Plant your foot between your hands. Just hang out here for a second. We're going to go into some T-spine rotation. So from here, we're going to go ahead and you can leave your back foot lifted or option to drop it down to get a little bit deeper into the back of your hamstring. And go ahead and just do 5 rotations on this side. So right hand comes up, right hand comes up. Swing it all the way through, facing the other side, keeping your palm up as you swing through to keep it activated. Right hand comes up. Rotate through. Right hand comes up. Rotate through, reaching as far as you can over to that left side without dropping into your hips. So keep those hips active. Comes up, one more time. Feet to the left. Come up. Good. And then plant that hand. Let's plant it on the inside of your foot this time. So you might need to walk your right foot out just a teeny bit. So you got both hands on the inside of your right foot now into runner's lunge. From here, everyone go ahead and drop your knee, untuck your toes, and as much as you can, drop into that stretch. That might look different for everyone. If you are feeling it right here, go ahead and hang out here for a second. If you feel like you can go further, you can drop down onto your elbows. Can you? Are you good? Good. Good. And this is one of those poses that you can hold for like 3 to 5 minutes. The more you hold it, the deeper you're going to get. And exhale, release. Go ahead and push your hips back. Straighten out. Point those toes to the ceiling on the right side. Good. Come back up into your low lunge. Bring your right foot back to meet your left. Downward facing dog. Same thing now on the left side. Left leg comes high. Left knee, left elbow. Left leg high. Left knee, right elbow. Left leg high. Left knee to nose. Left leg high. Bring your left foot between your hands. And you go for some rotation. So this time, plant your right hand down. Option again to drop your knee to the mat or keep it active. Left hand comes up to the ceiling. And a nice big rotation. Follow your hand with your gaze as you do this too. And then rotate through to the right side, keeping your palm up, reaching as far as you can over to the right side. Good. Hand comes back up to the ceiling. Rotate through. Left hand to the ceiling. Rotate through. One more time, left hand to the ceiling. Rotate through. Left hand to the ceiling. Go ahead and plant your hand on the inside of your foot. Walk your foot out a little bit to the outside edge of your mat. From here, everyone can go ahead and drop down onto your back knee. We're going to our runner's lunge. So again, option to stay here on your hands. If you feel it, that's great. If you feel like you can go a little bit deeper, start to walk yourself down onto your elbows. We'll hang out here for a couple more breaths. See if you can use your breath to really deepen your stretch. So on your exhales, try and focus your breath on wherever you feel uncomfortable. And see if you can loosen it up and just slowly sink into it a little bit more. If your elbows come back to your hands, we'll push back into half monkey. Bring your hips over your knee. Straighten out those toes on the left side, point up towards the ceiling. And a nice stretch through the entire back of your leg there. Good. Come back into your low lunge. Untuck your back, or tuck your back toes. Bring your left foot back to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Good. Inhale your right leg high. Swing it all the way through between your hands. Gonna windmill up into warrior two. So your right hand is over your right foot. Check your heel toe alignment. You want to be sure that you got your front heel is kind of in the middle of your back foot arch. Keep that 90-degree bend in your front leg. Make sure your torso is sitting nice and tall right over your hips. And make sure you're showing up with activation and power through your hands and shoulders in this pose. It's easy to just focus on the legs and kind of let the top part hang. And I want you to be powerful and really activate and send energy out through all 10 fingers. Good. The next exhale, extended warrior. So shift forward slightly. Bring your right knee to right knee. Right elbow to right knee. Thank you. And from here, straighten out that front leg. Reverse triangle. Left hand comes down the left leg. Right arm comes up to the ceiling. Windmill your hands back down to frame your foot. Kick your right leg back to meet the right. The left, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time. Good. Come into high plank and we'll work through a vinyasa and we'll reset. So high to low plank, to upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Good. Same thing on the other side. Left leg comes high. Left leg between your hands. Spin up into warrior two. So big windmill with your arms. There you go. Good. And just check on this side also that you got your deep 90-degree bend with your left leg. Check for your heel foot alignment. So your heel is in the middle of your back foot. Good. Hold for just a second. Next exhale, we go into extended side angle. So exhale, shift your torso slightly forward. Bringing your left elbow to your left knee. Right arm comes up. Inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten out that front knee. Right hand comes back to your back knee. Don't put so much pressure on it. Just kind of slide it down your back leg. Left hand comes up. Follow your left hand with your gaze. Good. Windmill your hands back down to frame your foot. High to low. Kick your left foot back and work through your high to low plank. Upward facing. And downward facing dog. Nice. We do the same thing, just a little bit faster now. So inhale, right leg high. Swing it through between your hands. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended warrior. So shift. Right knee, right elbow, or right elbow, right knee. And inhale, reverse triangle, straighten out that front leg. And come back and open up that right side body. Inhale, windmill back down to the mat. Take your right foot back to meet the left. High plank, low plank, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Good. Same thing on the left. Left leg high. Left foot to meet is spot between your hands. Big windmill up into warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Shift your body. Left knee, left elbow. Exhale, reverse triangle. Straighten out that front leg. Slide that right hand down your back leg. And windmill back down to the mat. Kick your left foot back. And high to low plank. Into upward facing. And downward facing dog. Nice. Good. From here, we're going to move into a little bit of core work. So go ahead, come to a seat on your mat. You can bring your legs out in front of you. Good. And let's slowly lower all the way down to your mat. And this is actually a core exercise, so don't just flop down, but as slow as you can from a seated position. See how long you can go without totally getting your shoulders to your mat. So just as slow as you can, one vertebra at a time, slowly start to drop back until your head is the last thing to touch the mat. Good. From here, we're going to go into yogi bicycle. So hands behind your head. And let's bring our left elbow to meet our right knee. Both feet come off the ground, so everything is going to be activated here. And switch, right elbow, left knee. And switch. See if you can come up every single time onto that elbow that's on the ground. Good. And switch. Left elbow, right knee. Switch. Right elbow, left knee. Switch. Two more. And switch. One more switch. Good. And hold here. Go ahead and bring your hands to touch. And we're going to do some pulses over to the right side. So keep that right leg in tabletop, left leg long. And do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it, don't drop it. Switch sides. Left knee up, right leg long. Point as much as you can. Straight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And go ahead and release down to your mat. Nice. Okay, from here, go ahead and bring your legs up, flexing your toes so that your bottom of your feet are like stamping the ceiling. And we're going to go into the rope climbs again. So opposite hand comes to the opposite foot on the outside as much as you can. Try and get both your shoulder blades off the mat every time that you're reaching up. And reach, reach, make sure you're breathing. Reach, reach. We'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release your feet down to the mat. Very nice. Good. From here, go ahead and just flip over so that your stomach is on the mat. Move it this way so you can see. Let me switch so that you can see there. Good. So we're going to go into some back extension. So from here, bring your hands behind your head, and you're just gonna lift your chest up off the ground as much as you can. For this first one, go ahead and keep your feet on the mat. So press through the tops of your feet to try and lift your upper body. And this should be, it's your core, but it's also mostly your back. So through your middle of your back. And hold here for 10, 9, as high as you can, 8, 7, 6, so you can go a little higher, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and drop back down. We're gonna do that one more time. This time we're gonna lift our legs and add some little flutter kicks to it. Breathe for a second. All right, when you're ready, hands behind your head. Lift up as much as you can, keeping your chin in line. Go ahead and add some little flutter kicks with your feet. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and drop it down to the mat. Nice. Let's push back into child's pose and reset. So just push up and back, come back to sit on your feet. Okay, from here we're going to go into a pigeon stretch. So come up into tabletop, press up into downward facing dog. Right leg's going to come high. And swing it through. This time you're going to bring your knee and your foot parallel to your hands. So this one, I know it's kind of hard to see, but as much as you can, try and get your top foot and your knee parallel to the top of your hands there. If you're up a little bit off this hip, that's okay. I'd rather you be up and activated than like slouching down and sitting onto it. So the more you can get into a 90-degree with that top leg, the better. Check to be sure your back leg is still straight behind you. You haven't moved it to try and balance yourself out at all. Good. And then option here, if you're feeling it here, that's perfect. It should be a pretty big glute opener. If you feel like you can go a little bit deeper, you can slowly start to walk your hands to the front. Just don't compromise your body line by shifting your hips and dropping into that side. So as much as you can, stay on top of your, on top of your leg if you have to scoot forward. And this is one of those poses too that you can hold for like 3 to 5 minutes. That would be really good for you. You can just do it while you're watching TV or checking Instagram or whatever. Just hang out here for like 3 minutes and it will go by really fast. And you'll start to notice a huge difference. If you're not able to get super deep right now, with just a week of time, you'll be able to drop down a lot. And go ahead and tuck those back toes. If you're on your elbows, come back to your hands. Bring your right knee back towards the wall behind you. We're going to open up the hip as a counter stretch. So start to drop that right foot towards over your left side body. And get a nice hip opener so your hips are facing to the right side of the room. Good. Bring your right foot back to meet your left. Same thing on the left side. Kick your left leg up. Left knee and ankle come to meet your hands. So as much as you can, get into that 90-degree position with your front leg. If you need to sit back on your hips to kind of scoot your foot forward, you can definitely do that. Just make sure that you come back up and you don't stay slouched to the side. Good. From here, if you're feeling it here, option to just hold here and breathe. Option to try and come down to your elbows. And if you're doing this and if you want to relax a little bit more into it, you can even get like a pillow or something to kind of tuck under your hips on that side. So that way you can just really relax into it for this 3 to 5 minutes. Good. Come back to your hands if you're not there already. Tuck your back toes. Start to press up. Bring your left foot up towards the back of the room. Same thing on this side, a big hip stretch. Drop your left foot over to the right side, opening up your hips to the left side of the room. Good. And come back to center, downward facing. And just drop down onto your knees and onto a seat on your mat. We'll come into a forward fold stretch. Legs long in front of you. Arms come up overhead. Inhale up first. As you exhale, hinge just from your hips, trying to keep your back as flat as you can as you reach as far forward as you can. And then just allow your hands to fall wherever they are. You don't need to reach and grab your toes and pull yourself down. Just let yourself hang. Go ahead and drop your head, drop your neck, relax everything. Slowly start to lift yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. And come back into that seated position. Same thing that we did before. Slowly lower yourself onto your mat, one vertebrae at a time, until you come all the way down flat on your mat. Good. From here, we go into happy baby. So grab the outsides of your feet. As much as you can, try and keep your tailbone down onto the ground. It's really easy to lift up and just try and lift your hips to grab those outsides of the feet. Keep your tailbone glued to the ground. Grab the outsides of your feet. If you can, come into like a 90-degree. If not, just go ahead and hang out here. Totally fine too. Option here, if it feels good in your body, you can kind of rock side to side, kicking your feet out as you go. So whatever foot is on top, go ahead and straighten it out. Roll to the other side. Kick it out. Good. Or option is to stay hanging out in the middle if that feels good to you too. Good. From here, bring your right knee into your chest, left leg goes long. You go into T-spine rotation. And hug it in as tight as you can, right knee to your right shoulder. Then bring it up and over your body. Again, trying to kind of imagine that 90 degrees between your hips, like with your hip to your ankle. Bring your right arm out long. Most important thing here is to try and get your right shoulder onto the ground before forcing your right knee to get onto the ground. So pay attention to that first. Then bring your gaze towards your right hand. Let yourself breathe into this stretch, trying to get a little bit deeper with every exhale. And slowly start to unwind. Come back to center. Bring both knees into your chest. Rock and roll just a little bit to reset and neutralize our spine before we go to the other side. Just a little ball, just rocking. Good. Find stillness. Left knee comes into your left armpit, right leg goes long. Leg it in and squeeze as much as you can. And left knee comes up and over your body. Keeping that 90-degree bend between your hip and your ankle. Left arm comes long. And gaze over to that left side. Again, making sure that your left shoulder blade is on the mat before you try and get your left knee down. And sink a little deeper with these next couple exhales. And slowly start to unwind, bringing your knees back to center. Both knees come into your chest, into a tiny little bowl. Let's rock and roll again. So neutralize out those big twists. When you're ready, find stillness. Squeeze your knees in as tight as you can. Bring your head to meet your knees. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Everything in your body as tiny as you can go. And exhale, release. Let it all go. Lay long. Extend your legs out. Let your hands go long. Take up as much room as you can on your mat. Okay, let your eyes close. And come back to your breath. Noticing where it's coming from on the inhales. How it feels leaving your body on the exhales. Just a couple more deep breaths. Start to lengthen your exhales. Trying to get them 2 to 3 seconds deeper every time. Your mind might start to wander and start to just gently bring it back to your breath, keeping your awareness where you are now. Slowly start to bring life back into your fingertips. So wiggling your toes, rolling out the wrists, rolling out your ankles. When you're ready, turn onto your side, either side, just laying on the mat. Just gently switch over. It's called fetus pose. And slowly, whenever you're ready, you can come back up into a seated position. Cool. And that's what I got for you guys this morning. So thank you guys for coming and joining me. And thank you to all those that had your cameras on. It was helpful just to see where everyone is at and kind of see what pace, if we need to go faster, slower, et cetera, et cetera. So appreciate that. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Yeah, enjoy. Just be mindful of how you're showing up to things. This is like week 6 of quarantine, but we're still chugging along. So keep doing what you can and keep being mindful and present, and we got this. See you guys soon.
Thank